Hello everyone, today we will be making a Rocket League training map for your rank. This will include all ranks, all the way from bronze, all the way up to SSL, and you do not want to miss it. I put a lot of time into these training maps, so I really hope that you guys will enjoy them. Please make sure to use my code in the Fortnite and Rocket League item shop. My code is listed on screen. And anyway, let's hop right into the first training map, starting off with bronze. So while I was making these maps, I really wanted to make sure that each rank can actually do the shot that was provided. Obviously, I want to make bronze super easy and then make the SSL training map as hard as I can. In bronze, I started off with the fundamentals, and by fundamentals, I'm talking about open shots, basic aerials, maybe the ball's rolling really slowly next to the goal. I really want to make sure that these bronzes can just learn early on and get used to the card control, the buttons, and pretty much anything else that they need. A lot of people don't realize it, but you should not have a bronze training some crazy like air dribble early on. They need to learn basic aerials, dribbling, basic shots, make their open nets, stuff like that, yet a lot of people just do not realize that. And that is why there are so much bronzes, silvers, and golds. I could do some crazy flip reset air dribble musty, yet they just cannot score something like an open net or maybe even a basic aerial. So that is why the first couple of shots in the bronze training map deals with really basic shots. Maybe the ball's rolling really slowly across the goal, maybe there's a little bit of a bounce to it, or maybe it's just a plain out open shot. And then the rest of the shots have a tad bit of awkwardness to it. Now you may be asking, what is awkwardness in Rocket League? Awkwardness is when the ball is in a weird spot that makes it kind of just odd for you to score there. Maybe you have to be very unique with the way you hit the ball to make it into the goal. Maybe it's something that's pretty abnormal, or you're in a position to where it makes it really difficult to do anything. Now, when I was creating these training maps, I had a goal to make every map have 12 unique shots. On number 12, I decided to make it a lot harder compared to the other shots, but still realistic enough for so-and-so to make that shot. Now, I didn't make it anything crazy, I didn't make it too wild. Trust me, you do not need Senju to make this shot, but that's pretty much what I did for these training maps. I think I've covered enough with bronze. Let's move over to silver. Now, silver players are obviously going to be much better than bronze players, so I decided to speed up the gameplay a little. I didn't make the ball as slow as it was prior in bronze. I also decided to make the ball either a lot bouncier or maybe just plain out quicker or more complex. I still didn't want to make it too hard because silvers are silver, not to hate on y'all, but y'all are still not that good in the Rocket League sense. Another thing I did for a couple of shots is I decided to sprinkle in that little speed boost right at the start of the shot. I did not know this, but it seems like recently Rocket League decided to add a little speed boost that you can add to your car for these training maps, and I decided to utilize that as much as I can for these training maps. I felt like if I add these, this can make the player a little bit more awkward, a little bit more confused. Oh, I'm speeding up, now I need to make a quicker decision than what I realized prior. And for the last couple of shots, I also included some of the open nets again, except this time they have to be much quicker, they have less time, and they need to get it in the goal without a bounce. I feel like open nets are one of the most underrated things that you need to learn in Rocket League. The amount of times where you can get an open net and score and get what could potentially be a dagger in a game is insane. Anytime I start to miss open nets, that's when I de-rank, but every time I utilize an open net, that's when I start ranking right back up. Then for shot 12, like I said earlier, I wanted to make it a little bit harder than what it usually is compared to the other shots. So this time I decided to make it to where you have to dribble the ball to make it and finish out this training map. Dribbling is something that you just need to learn early on, and then once you master how to dribble, that's when you can start to use flicks and try any other mechanics that you can figure out. Now I think we're done with silver, so let's move right on to gold. Now we're still keeping that 12 shot format, and the first couple of shots still have that taste from silver. It's a little bit tougher than what it was in silver, but it has that silver taste. If you completed the silver one pretty easily, I'm pretty sure you'll get by these two pretty quickly. Then the next couple four are pretty much dribbling shots. If you could just master how to dribble, you'll get through these shots pretty easily. Once you move on from your first shot to your second to your third to your fourth, it's gonna get progressively harder, but that's gonna be the whole point of it. That way you can get better and better at it. And then the final two dribbling shots put you in an awkward position where you need to get the ball and then turn around. The ones prior to that make it to where you only have to go straight after you catch the ball. I feel like this is a great way to learn how to turn while holding onto the ball and maintaining your balance. Then shot number 8 is a little bit different compared to what I've had already. This time the ball's in the air, and this time it cannot dribble at all. You have to hit it in the air, and it has to be a decently quick aerial. I feel like this is a great way to get the golds ready and warmed up to do quicker aerials and get to the ball much quicker without having it bounce on the ground. Then number 9 is also pretty different. This time you have to learn how to do a recovery after coming out of the net and then hitting the ball as soon as you can without having the time expire. Same thing with number 10, except this time you can't just boost right into the ball. This time you need to flip right into the ball. I feel like this is a great way to get the golds ready for the upper ranks on kickoffs. Once you learn how to speed flip, that can help your game out so much. And I'm not saying you need to learn how to speed flip early on, on, but if you can at least do a basic flip without completely messing up your kickoff, you should be set for the kickoffs all the way up until as high as you go up to. Now these final two shots have 3 different words that I would like to apply to them. Number 1, speed. Number 2, accuracy. Number 3, awkwardness. But anyway, I think you guys understand what I'm talking about here. So anyway, let's upgrade to platinum. Now I'm gonna make platinum a little bit shorter for this segment, and basically platinum has a lot more of unique, harder shots, a lot quicker shots, a lot more complex shots, and that's what I decided to add into this training map. Also decided to add a little bit of a setup right next to a wall to where you can maybe do an air dribble, flip reset, or whatever you want to do with it. Also later on for this map, I added in a ceiling shot too. That way platinums can get used to maybe practicing their ceiling shots and the ball is not moving, it's stuck in the air. The way they can work on their accuracy. Something that needs to be mentioned because a lot of people tend to believe that you need these crazy mechanics just to maybe even reach platinum. And you do not need to know that. I have never been perfect in Rocket League with my air dribbles or any sort of thing related to that. Yet I'm still champion, and the reason why is because I'm just really smart, capitalize off of my opponent's mistakes. So moving up to diamond, this time I decided to double down on some shots, and I made this basically related to the platinum one except 2 times harder. This time I doubled down on the awkwardness, the complexity, maybe the accuracy you need for these types of shots. And like I said, it will be so much harder this time, and I already know that some people are going to complain about it, but please just learn it. Don't complain, learn it. The more you self-run these maps, the more you need to practice to finish the shot. That means you're getting better and you're learning from what mistakes you were ever making. One of these shots also utilizes the half flip, and I'm not too sure if you guys would know what the half flip is, but here it is right here on screen. It's pretty easy to learn. I think this is something you need to learn a lot earlier, but I decided not to include it until now because that's just when I start to use it a lot more. Back in the lower ranks like platinum and gold, I didn't use it much because I didn't really need to and I didn't really know about it, but now it's something I just need to remember to use. And I'm sorry for interrupting the video, but if you've been enjoying it so far, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below for what you've enjoyed the most so far. Trust me, it helps me out a ton, and I really do want to become a bigger YouTuber, make better content for y'all. So please, like I said, if you can subscribe, use my code in the Fortnite Rocket League item shop, that would be very useful for me. But anyway, let's head to the next training map. Now this training map is the final training map, and you may be wondering why this is the final training map. We still have 3 ranks left: champ, grand champ, and an SSL. Here's the thing, I am only champ, and I know what I should do to maybe get better, maybe get out of champ, but I don't know what exactly I would need to do to get out of grand champ to make it to SSL. This is why I decided to make it one big map that pretty much has a lot of just really hard and difficult shots. These are the type of shots that I would not expect to maybe see a gold make or a platinum to make. I can maybe see a diamond or a champ or higher to make it. However, I just don't think a bronze, silver, or gold could really make these types of shots. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much all I have for today, and I do appreciate if you stuck around the entire way. If you are a beginner and you're still learning how to play the game, please check out my 50 tips video right here. This is designed for a beginner to maybe learn some stuff instantly. Some of these tips right here will make you better at the game a lot quicker than you may expect. I also have a playlist right here of a bunch of videos I've made, and I have my channel link right here so you can subscribe to me. Thank you, and I'll see y'all next time.